Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Gregg and I'm here at Creativation 2020 on our Darkroom Door booth, and I just want to show you our new releases and a couple of project samples using those stamps and stencils. So first off, we've got 4 new rubber stamp sets. We've got the number medley, lots of labels, global postmarks and warm wishes, and these 4 stamp sets are really they can be used together, so they're designed to be used together, but also they're so versatile you can use them with a lot of other projects as well. So here's just a couple of project samples showing you how you can use them, and this card here actually uses all 4 stamp sets on the one card. So you've got the warm wishes flowers and the little sentiment here inside the label, so that label's from the lots of labels stamp set. And we've also got some postmarks up here from the global postmark stamp set, and you can see all the layering in the background here, and that's from the number medley stamp set. So you can see how you can use all 4 stamps on the one card there. And here's another card here. This is using the lots of labels stamp, and I've just stamped a few different sizes just to sort of show you what you can put inside. So you can use little tiny sentiments and then other larger sentiments for the larger labels. And this is just for cards, but you could also use that for, you know, if you want to put it on jars or on the front cover of books or in your art journals, any sort of way like that. Here's some global postmarks just stamped over the top of one of our this is the polka dot stencil, the large polka dot stencil, so that works well over that. But of course we've got so many different postmarks in that set that you could use that on, you know, any other sort of project, adding more layers to your art journals, anything like that. And then we've got another card here using all 4 stamps on the one card. So that's just a quick overview on those rubber stamp sets, and now I'll show you our new stencils. So we've got 4 new stencils, or 4 new stencil designs in the large and the small. So they come as a large 9x12 and then a smaller 6x4.5. So these are really great for card making or if you want smaller versions, and then we've got really big ones where you can use them for art journals. And all of these stencils are based off some stamps that we've done in the past. So a lot of these 2 are from our background stamps, and then the grunge borders here is from our grunge mark stamp set, so you can use those to create borders and you can do the whole thing or just one part. And then we've got our lavender stencil here, and you can see some designs here. This is using stickles, so you can see it gives a really nice sort of glimmery or shimmery look, so that looks really nice. The handwriting here, this is just in the background, so that just gives some really nice layers there as well. This one here is using the brick wall, so I've just done texture paste through that and then just sprayed over the top of that with some dilution sprays, and that just gives you some really nice texture. And then here, this is just grunge marks, and that's just sponged with some distress ink just through that stencil. I just did it simply like that, but you could just use one of those if you wanted along the border for your cards. Then we've got some medium stencils. Now these are a lot of fun. With this one here you get the positive and the negative shape, so you can do some masking as well as some stenciling. And then you've got the cascading design at the top as well. So we've got the star and the hearts, and here's a couple of samples on using those. So I've used the mask part there and then sprayed over the top, and that's how you get that nice little spray effect, and then just stenciled inside of that. And the background there, you can see how I've used the cascading stars just for the background. So that's just those 2 designs. And then these ones here, these are based off our background stamps of numbers and the alphabet, and I've just used these just to just build up some layers in the background of these art journal pages. And this here, this is the large lavender stencil, and that's just texture paste through that stencil there as well. So that's just a couple of ideas using the new stencils. Next up, we've got some new quote stamps. So there's 4 new quote stamps here, and there's some really fun designs. You know, we've like to have a little bit of humour, some really nice inspiring quotes, and then here's some cards here using these quotes. And even though I've just done cards here on the booth, you can also use them for your art journals or for, you know, a lot of other projects as well. And you can just simply stamp them over the top of a painted background. This is over the top of a stenciled background, and then again this one, and I've just die cut around that. So a lot of our quotes will fit inside, you know, some die cuts or die cut designs. Or you can just trim around them and just sponge around them like I've done with this, and often they'll go with a lot of our other photo stamps and other designs that we've got in our stamp range. Next up, we've got sentiment stamps. Now these have been really popular. Now these are a 7-inch strip So they can go down a card like just as one design here. So you can see here how I've used it as one strip, but they're so versatile. You can actually just use one sentiment if you just want one word out of it, or three, or a bit more, or the whole strip. So you can use it in lots of different ways. So I've done it there. On this card here, you can see I've just made a subtle background with it just by stamping it 3 times and just masking it over the top of those balloons there. This one here, this is the Make Art sentiment stamp, so that's really fun if you want to pair it up with some of our paint splat stamps. And then we've got the Adventure sentiment stamp as well, which is really cool for our travel lovers out there as well. Okay, next up we've got some new frame stamps. We've got 2 new portrait style ones, so we've got the Splattered and the Burnt Edge, and inside these you can actually put some quote stamps, so our quote stamps will fit inside these 2 frame stamps. And then we have the vintage label, and we've also got the flower scroll frame stamp as well. So here's some samples using those. So this is that Burnt Edge frame, and you can see here I've used one of the new quote stamps inside of that. And then this is the Splattered frame, so I've just used that in a couple of different colours and put a quote stamp inside of that one as well. And then a bit of mail art here with the vintage label. Now the vintage label is really cool because you can use it for mail art. You can also use it inside your art journals if you want to, use a quote inside of that, or write something. Use it for journaling. You could use it for book plates. There's so many different ways you could use that stamp. And you can see here I'm still using some of the other stamp sets, the global postmarks and the warm wishes flowers as well. So a lot of our stamps will interact together, and you can use them together to create your unique designs. So then we've got here the flower scroll frame stamp, and inside that I've just masked it and then just stamped one of our Prague stamps from the Prague stamp set, and then just put Prague there inside the scroll. So that means you could create any type of scene, or again use this for book plates as well, and then just stamped it onto the background there. If you're into mixed media, gel printing, or just want to layer up some layer backgrounds on your projects, our new abstract stamps are really fun. We've got a lot of our older designs here as well, and all of them have been really, really popular. So we've got the script one, we've got dots, we've got the crosses here, or the little X's, and some rectangles. And here's a couple of cards, and this is just some gel prints, and I've just stamped the script over the top of that one there. And then this one here, I've just used a few dots in the background. This one here, I've done some embossing, so I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it's just got a little raised bit, and then I've used some of the other ones in the background there. And again, I've just used the labels from the Lots of Labels stamp set, some quotes over here, and just cut those out. Here's another label on this card here. So you can see how a lot of our stamps will mix and match just depending on what your projects. These are really fun for gel printing. I don't have a sample here to show, but they do work really well on the gel plate. And also if you want to press them into any sort of texture paste, or thick embossing powders as well. So that's all the little samples that we've got of our new designs. I'll just give you a quick overview on what the stamps actually look like. So we've got here, this is what they are packaged. So they're red rubber, and they're cling red rubber, so all you do is just put them onto your acrylic block and use them. As well with these abstracts, if you want to gel print with them, you can just, you don't need your acrylic block, you can just press it onto your plate and then you're ready to go. Our little stamp sets, they come in a DVD size storage case, so then when you have them on your bookcase, you can just see them all lined up there, and then you've easily got the names of your stamp set ready for you to pick out whichever one you want to use and go ahead and use it. So there's our stamp sets. All of our little quote stamps, again, everything's just on red rubber. Here's our stencils. They're made of really nice thick mylar, so they're ready to use on your projects. So I hope you've enjoyed all of our new releases and our new projects. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see all of our new designs, just check us out at darkroomdoor.com. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Splat Time videos for all the Creativation 2020 coverage.